welcome to this episode of The Good, the Bad and the Odd with your hosts, Mark and Sam. Hi, Sam.
Hello there.
Right, today is a Daisy Daisy. The last film we watched was Dracula Dead and Loving It, and this one's my choice, so I had to think about all the actors or people involved in the making of that film. I was trying to decide what to do. I had a few choices, but in the end I went with Lisette Anthony, who I think played Lucy in... it was Lucy or Mina, I think it was Lucy. And she is in 1983's Krull. Okay, we have watched this before, right?
So yeah, we've watched this together a few times.
Okay. It's been a while, though.
Yeah, it has.
An interesting film because it's one of those that's in the wake of the Star Wars stuff. So a lot of sci-fi was coming out, cheap and expensive and so on. But this one kind of blends sci-fi and sword and sorcery kind of stuff, right? Fantasy. It's a curious blend, isn't it?
Yeah.
The main actor is Ken Marshall, who I haven't really seen in anything else, I've got to say, as Colwyn.
I strongly suspect this may have killed his stardom, though he does seem to have been I remember he is in Deep Space Nine.
Yeah,
that's kind of the most famous thing.
And it's pretty good. Other actors we get involved, and for some reason, Lisette Anthony is dubbed to an American actress. I do not know why. I don't know why. But we get some quite prestigious actors in this. We get Freddie Jones as Inyir, Alan Armstrong, Bernard Bresslaw, Cyclops, Liam Neeson, Francesca Annis. Interestingly, it was kind of interesting because Francesca Annis and Freddie Jones are in June, aren't they?
Yeah.
And it was kind of interesting to see that. And we also get a young Robbie Coltrane, who's also dubbed for some reason. I don't know. Because Mike Welfick, who dubbed him, sounds quite a lot like Robbie Coltrane. So it's a bit weird. But Liam Neeson is probably the most famous now.
Yeah, nowadays,
So, yes. And what was your general feeling on this, anyway?
I really liked it. It was a cheap, sword and sorcery, film.
I don't know, man. It didn't look that cheap. The sets were amazing, actually. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, this sort of thing could have been sets aside. This could have been acted in a regular room, and not much would have been changed by it. The actors were putting in a lot, but the story itself was kind of messy.
Yeah, it was
really
all over
fun.
the place. It felt like it was edited from another longer story with bits missing. It's because they go in somewhere and something happens and then they don't continue and they never explain why or anything like that.
That may have been the case because according to some stuff I've read, basically it did get rewritten. There was multiple versions of the script.
And they just edited together what they could. There's one bit with I can't remember his name now, like an old wizardy guy in green who doesn't last very long.
The Emerald Seer.
Yeah, that doesn't actually do anything, but what it does do, he's got a little helper called Titch, a boy. And Titch is in the rest of the film, so I guess if Titch hadn't have been there as his helper, they could have just edited him out, that whole stuff out, and it wouldn't have made much difference. So I have to say, it's an interesting film, but because some of the dialogue's really ropey, but some seems really good. And also, we've got quite class actors here, right? So they can deliver toshy lines and make them sound good too. There's some of that, I think. But yeah, this was mostly filmed in studio in England and on location in Italy and Spain. And they do a lot of location shooting in this one, don't they? There's lots of walking across mountain in a stroke grassland. It's a bit Lord of the Rings before Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings before that was made in some respects.
Yeah, kind of.
There's definitely and also the score was composed by James Horner, so it's got that James Horner sound. It sounds really quite a lot like Wrath of Khan, for example.
Well, it's Wrath of Khan, and apparently about half the score was sourced from Battle Beyond the Stars.
Battle Beyond the Stars. Yeah, I can believe that. It was a dud at the box office. But I think it's better than its box office suggests. personally.
Yeah.
And though the plot is nonsense, the actual dialogue and acting and even the action sequences are pretty good.
Yeah.
I really like, for example, the troops. What's the big
Slayers.
bad called?
Oh,
the Slayers.
The beast of
the beast.
The troops of the Slayers.
Slayers. Their costumes are really cool. They kind of look a bit like Alien, but they're really quite cool.
They're functionally stormtroopers for anyone that's not seen it. But they have there's a lot of like weird unexplained stuff in this film that I do like. So whenever you kill a Slayer, their head pops and like this bug thing that you never really see clearly dives into the ground.
And you hear a screeching, don't you?
What happened there?
Yeah.
And also they're silent aside from when you kill them. So several times the characters are just walking along and there's a Slayer just walks out of a nearby pond or something.
Right. So basically, Krull's been invaded by a known bad guy, the Beast, who's got a weird. His mode of transport is transporting an entire mountain.
Castle, yeah,
with a castle in it around Krull.
Galaxy,
Well, it's in Wikipedia it says the galaxy, but in this film it's on the planet Krull, right?
We see it come in from space and land.
Yeah. Now, and there's also a touch of the Lovecrafts about this because the Beast feels like an elder. Right, an old one. It's got a weird fish, sort of red cat's eye kind of look.
Yeah,
and weird sharp teeth. It's very
you never
gross.
Really see it clearly.
No, it's extreme close-ups and stuff. Right?
Yeah, spoilers. The characters do end up in that castle.
Yeah,
a lot of the structure of the castle looks like extensions of the Beast. So, like, they'll run out onto a platform and it looks like a hand. They'll run out of a place and it looks like they've run out of a mouth.
And there's an eye, a room that looks like an eye, and things like that. It's really weird. It gives this film quite a distinctive and unusual feel. I can't really think of a film like it. In terms of fantasy, I guess similar ones is something like Hawk the Slayer.
Hawk the Slayer,
but the thing is, they have lasers and stuff, and they're traveling in the galaxy. So that's the sci-fi.
Have like single shot laser rifles, and then they switch to
swords.
What is in effect a lightsaber because they're like metal poles. Whenever they cross swords with someone, there's like a red spark.
Yeah. So essentially, Colwyn turns up to get the Princess Lissa, who is... there's some narration at the beginning.
Give birth to the one who will rule the universe.
So they'll rule the planet and their son will rule the universe. But they're getting married. Their dads are not happy because they're ancient enemies, but this will solve this will heal the breach between them as enemies, and they realise that they've got to work together anyway because of old Beast fella. Maybe.
Yeah, the Beast.
Anyway, he kind of materializes at the when the wedding's happening and the Slayers attack.
Kidnap Lissa before the wedding can be concluded, and run off, killing both kings and basically killing everyone except Colwyn.
Colwyn, who's just left in the wreckage. And for some reason, the Beast wants to marry Lissa. Now, actually, the plot of this kind of reminded me of Legend, right? It was a bit like Legend, right? Yeah. So Legend.
The Beast does say he wants to marry her, so his son will rule the galaxy.
Oh, I see. I missed that bit, and I've seen this from loads of times.
It doesn't say like anything about who the father needs to be. It's just she will be the one that gives birth to the one that rules the galaxy.
Yeah. But Colwyn is found by a healer or an old sort of mystic stroke doctor stroke sage called
a legendary character to him who goes, Inia goes, oh, my name's Inia, and Colwyn goes, the old one? Yeah. And Inia gets a bit miffed at that. So.
Not that old, but he is known. So he's out Obi-Wan Kenobi or Merlin or whatever, is that analogue of, hero of a thousand faces kind of thing. And he talks about you can defeat the beast by using something called the glaive, which is a 5-pointed boomerang thing, right? Like a throwing star, with blades shoot out the ends. Now, we both kind of get a bit salty about this because a glaive, we know what a glaive is. A glaive's a sword on a spear, yeah? But they call it a glaive. And interestingly, when I did get, I remember the first time someone showed me a glaive, a sword on I was saying, that's not a glaive. A glaive's a 5-point, and it's like they looked at me like I was mad because I got it from this film. First thing they do is go get the glaive. He has to go into a cave. And it's a bit Kane from Kung Fu, really. It's a cave of sort of molten lava and heat, and the glaive is embedded in some molten lava. But
I was going to say Arthurian.
Yeah, Arthurian. I was just coming to that. It's a bit like drawing the sword from the stone too, Excalibur.
Just to plunge his hand into the lava and pull it out, and then all the rocks around it crack away to show the shining weapon. And then the next line is like, so you can't use that until like we actually see the beast.
Yeah, so that's a bit disappointing. Use that
in any way. So.
Right, so they're off to try and find the Black Fortress, and indeed, in some respects, it's a bit like Stephen King's Dark Tower, a quest to find a nebulous place. Now, that is stated, part of the mythos is the Black Fortress teleports to a new place every sunrise. Yeah. So it could, and it seems to be random. They do come across a guy who's kind of a bit Eric Idleish, isn't he?
Yeah.
Quite a good actor called Ergo the Magnificent, played by, David Batley. He's quite known on British TV. He's in a lot, especially sitcoms. He's quite a good comedy actor. And he's kind of a comic role, isn't it, Ergo?
Yeah.
Basically, he's a bit useless. He keeps trying to turn people into things, and he turns into him instead. So it's like, threatens to turn someone into a goose. He becomes a goose, and so on.
They say, Ian mentions offhandedly that his, he calls him like one of the mountain people. Their spells can't be used offensively. So if he tries to do something to someone, it doesn't. It reflects back on him.
Yeah. So. And they're travelling with an horse to try and get to the Black Fortress, but they're kind of attacked by a band of thieves who... I can't remember the circumstances. Did I just yield? Ergo tries to use his magic. He turns into a pig.
And turns into an animal,
pig.
That's the sort of go-to thing. It's like there's a problem. Ergo turns into an animal unintentionally, and then the fight starts.
And the fight starts. But basically, they establish he's the king-to-be, and they're not really believed, but he pulls out a key.
He pulls out like a master key that can unlock all their like... manacles, because they're all escaped like criminals and rogues.
They're just trying to, and there's mention as well. Then once the beast takes over the planet, there'll be nowhere safe and all that business. Anyway, he shows him the key, and he goes, "But only the king and the master,
the Lord Marshal,
the Lord Marshal has the key, and you don't look like the Lord Marshal." That's what he says.
Yeah, he goes, "Yes,"
and he gives him a key. Quill, played by Alan Armstrong. Great turn from Alan Armstrong, head of the list. And he's really good in this, Alan Armstrong. He actually puts the key in and realises it fits and realises who he is. And then he says, "No, I'm not going to take these bonds over until I've earned them." And he gives him back the key. And we also get, all right. So in this band, and Colwyn makes the point: 9 a year are as good as an army, because they're tough, I suppose, and all this. So we kind of then becomes a band of brothers kind of story, doesn't it? The 9,
our fellowship,
the fellowship, it's that kind of thing. Plus Ergo, and plus Inia,
and eventually plus a Cyclops by the name of Rel. Who shows up, played by Bernard Bresslaw.
Now, it's established that the Cyclops made a deal with the Beast to be able to see in the future, but to only have one eye. This is all nonsense, by the way. But the whole point is the Beast does confirm some psychic ability to see into the future, but all they can see is the point of their own death. which they can avoid, but apparently it causes them great pain and suffering if they do avoid it.
Yeah, they'll die in a much more horrible way.
Yeah, essentially. In addition, Ineos says, all right, we got to... I can't remember the stuff because the story's so choppy. He says, we've got to go and find this guy who can maybe predict where the Black Fortress will be. I'm trying to remember this guy's name. Yeah. But it's an old wizardy
it's the Emerald
guy.
Seer.
Emerald Seer,
we were talking about.
Who's got the Seer, and he's got a little helper, a little boy called Titch.
Yeah, Titch.
Who's quite good in this, not an annoying kid.
I quite like this bit, first off, because the Seer recognises Aenir. And it's like, oh, hello there, friend. What do you need? And they're like, they go, we need to find out where the beast is. So they try it, and he's got this big gem, an emerald, floating and rotating in front of him. He's like, show me the location. And you just see the beast's hand come out of nowhere, grab the crystal and shatter it.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, I think the beast may be a bit too powerful for myself at the moment.
So he says we got to go to the point where 3 trees join into one or something.
Yeah. He's basically got to go to a place where he can foresee better.
Yeah.
But that's in the middle of a swamp.
So they start going there, but then we see some sort of shapeshifter who has taken the Seer's form, killed the Seer by sticking big fingernails in.
This is during a big old fight where a bunch of Slayers start walking out of the swamp.
Slayers.
It's really creepy.
Really cool as well. These Slayers just rising out of the water. It reminded me a bit like there's a famous scene in Doctor Who where the Daleks rise out of the Thames in the Dalek Invasion Earth. It kind of reminded me of that, but it was very, very cool. And it was quite a good fight. But meanwhile, the Seer gets killed by the shapeshifter who takes his form. And then basically, while they're travelling, the shapeshifter's about to do the same attack on Colwyn, isn't it? And
he has a moment where he turns around and the Cyclops chucks a spear.
Cyclops turns up and throws a spear. So at that point, the Cyclops joins. Now, this is Bernard Breslau, who's usually a comedy actor and indeed was in Hulk the Slayer, right?
Yeah.
With
as a giant.
as a massive prosthetic face, with an eyeball, which blinks now and again to show you it's like animatronic. But his actual performance is quite dignified and low-key and quite good dramatically, right? He's not goofing about. It's serious.
It's the sort of thing where you can interpret that due to... They also say in the plot that Cyclops is lonely and very solemn due to the fact that one of the things that they can always see how they're going to die.
Yeah,
so,
and that is totally consistent with both his dialogue and his character.
Yeah.
So that's quite good. So they got another one, but old Ineos figures, okay, they lost the Seer now, so what are they going to do? He figures there is another way to do this. He needs to go see the Widow of the Web. And everyone's going, she'll kill, you can't go and see her, that's death, and all this. And essentially there's, Ineos says, I've got to go alone. And this is, and he says, but you don't know your fate. He goes, if I don't come back by morning, you all know my fate. It's all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And essentially it goes into this weird cave system with a web, and there's a giant spider there. So there's touches of
spider that's chasing them about.
Lord of the Rings again, right? I'll tell you what, this spider was stop motion, but it was really good.
Yeah.
I really liked it. Basically, this woman is in a room in the middle of this web. She just has
it's like this weird cocoon that's suspended in the air.
Yeah. So she sits there, but in there, he's trying to get to her, but the spider's approaching. He calls out to her. He knows her, right?
Yeah.
He knows her.
And conveniently, she has the same name as the princess. She's still called Alyssa.
Yeah. So she's she stops the spider for a short time by turning over a big hourglass, sand hourglass. Yeah, a bit. It's a touch of Wizard of Oz there.
Yeah.
But and he comes in, and we find out they were lovers, right?
They were lovers at one time, and apparently, from something I remember seeing, she may have been the previous version of the prophesized queen.
Okay.
But I can't find the source of that again. So
it's interesting. She's got the same name. And we find
she's got the same name. They had a child, and she killed the child out of vengeance.
And her sentence, because she couldn't kill Inia.
Yeah.
She hated Inia so much. But obviously, they both got old. She's beyond that now. She's just sad, right? She's just sad. And he says, "Look, we need your help to do this." And basically, she says, the only way you can get that is if. Well, she doesn't explain it, but we kind of figure out. Basically, she breaks the hourglass and gives him the sand. That's the sand of his life, and that allows him to see it. But as soon as he's lost all the sand, he will die. But he then gets out and leaves.
She tells him that it's going to be in like the Iron Desert or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Then smashes the hourglass, which I think she specifically says she can only turn it once per person. So she smashes it so she can give him the sand, so he can like let the sand run out of his hand
and escape at the same time.
Which
that's the only way he gets out.
To stop.
Yeah,
but it's still his life.
It's his life. Oh yeah, so the sand is the only way they can stop the spider killing him.
So
the only way he can get out is to carry the sand. Yeah. But he does get out and tell them as he dies. So that was cool. Francesca Annis, really short turn, but she's really good. We know her as Jessica, of course, from 1984's June. And as we know, Freddie Jones as Susie Howard. So that's kind of cool. So they know where it is, but it's thousands of many miles away.
It's like it's the other side of the country. They're not getting there to any sort of time soon.
But the Cyclops says, well, the fire mares can get there. Basically, they capture a load of wild horses, which cool image. This when they run so fast, fire comes from their feet, and they create like a herd of horses running but with their feet on fire. And that, I think it's quite a good special effect. I don't know how they did it, but it looks pretty cool. Any ideas?
I have no idea myself. No idea. I'm also curious because there's a bit where they show the horses running, and it's in front of a green screen.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how they got, was it like some sort of running, like a running machine that they just put the horses on and got them to run somehow?
Yeah, maybe. Because they were real horses. They weren't fake horses. They also fly. They actually leave the ground, don't they, to get where they're going. So they managed to get there before the Black Fortress disappears. And so this allows the remaining troop, to get to the fortress before it moves on. And they then have to scale the wall. Well, it isn't wall, it's like rocks, isn't it? It's kind of... The weird thing about this is it's like natural rocks, but with a touch of engineering, right?
Yeah.
Certainly once they get inside. But it's also a kind of organic looking in places, like almost like giant bones frame the hallways and things like that. It's kind of cool. Anyway, when they get there, the Slayers do start attacking as only a few of them. But they managed to get in. I should have mentioned the Cyclops says he has to stay where they capture the horses because that's where he's going to die. So he can't go on with them. And if to do so, and Titch explains to do so would cause him great pain and so on. However, he does turn up, doesn't he? Hero turns up on a horse and kills a few Slayers and stuff before he passes. But yeah, so that was kind of cool.
He gets crushed.
Yes, he does. Holding open a door to let everyone else in. Yeah.
This case, very clearly was experienced that more horrible death.
So Colwyn's in the castle. His band are there, but they start falling through holes, and it's quite horrible. What happened? But Ergo finally becomes useful because he turns himself into a tiger and starts attacking Slayers, which is kind of cool. They got a tiger from somewhere, didn't they?
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't see full attacks with the tiger, but we see it wandering around and then bloody Slayers. So it's kind of that kind of thing, isn't it? Apparently, there was a whole scene where a snake woman appeared. Which I think was probably something to do with the seer, but I don't know. but I'm looking at it. It looked too much like Medusa from Clash of the Titans, which came out, a year or two before this. So they cut that whole scene. I don't see what matters, but
Yeah.
So apparently they did plan the beast to be a dragon, so it would have been more like Smaug. Which is kind of interesting, but this works. He also can convert himself into different forms, so he appears as Colwyn at one point. Apart from his eyes, he looks the same as Colwyn.
Yeah, their eyes are always black. Yeah. We missed out a weird bit with a succubus attacking them.
Yes.
Or rather attacking Colwyn. Because there's a bit in the discussions where the beast is like trying to show off and it's like, oh, your hero is not so loyal to you. And it's literally just Colwyn going, please stop trying to seduce me.
Yeah.
And,
it doesn't work.
Going like, yeah, I've fallen for you, like for real. I'm a servant of the beast. And like the beast just kills her straight away.
Yeah, it just kills her. It does not mess about. I'd forgotten that bit. That was an odd bit, wasn't it? That was basically Liam Neeson's like the cheeky chap of the troop, and he's got wives everywhere. So he gets one of his wives to help serve food while they're camping in the forest. And this woman's her friend, apparently, things like that. So, it's all that. So anyway, they get in. They start. There's some attrition of the troop.
Quite a lot of deaths. Titch falls down a hole. Ergo jumps after him.
Yeah,
and the others get separated. But Ergo, now realizing the extent of his skills, turns himself into a tiger and starts mauling slayers.
Yeah, awesome. Meanwhile, Colwyn does fight. He basically uses the glaive to break into the room where the princess has been held. Now, there's lots of scenes where the princess is wandering around this castle in these different sets. Kind of cool. Especially when they're doing long shots, so you actually see what the room looks like from afar. It's kind of interesting. But he manages to get in. The beast's quite annoyed, so
Yeah, he's stomping around in the background, and he just kind of hucks the glaive at him.
Yeah,
and that causes the beast to drop.
Yeah. So the fight is a bit anticlimactic. It's pretty fast, isn't it? Basically, bam in the chest, and there you go.
But then he gets back up, and they run.
Yeah.
And while they're running, they remember they didn't finish their wedding.
Yeah.
And because of that, Lyssa is holding fire.
Yeah.
She may have been holding this the entire movie.
Yes.
And then, as part of the ceremony, she hands the fire over to Colwyn. The fire grows massive, and Colwyn now has a flamethrower.
Yeah.
He proceeds to blast the beast, the castle, everything out of the way.
Yeah. So true love defeats the beast. Yeah. That's the moral.
True love and this flamethrower they've got.
So they managed to get out of the castle before everything explodes. But the only ones that survive, apart from Colwyn and Alyssa, are Ergo and Titch, and the head of the band, Torquil, and a character called Oswin, played by Todd Carter, a lad, basically, not one of them. So all of the grown men die apart from Torquil. And then Colwyn then says, here's the key, here's your key. And Torquil's like, you know what? I'm going to keep these. Which means that he's got a neckband.
He hands it he hands him like the keys. Is like, you can have these. And he goes, but this is only for the king of the Lord Marshal. He goes, yep.
Yeah. So he's made him the Lord Marshal, isn't he? In effect. So these are the new king and queen. So
it ends out with them walking off into the distance while it restates the prophecy of like the son of the queen
Freddie,
of the galaxy.
Basically the same voiceover that Freddie Jones gives at the beginning of the movie. It ends the movie. And then it ends. And we get a lot of cool music all the way through. We get quite a good scenery. Pretty solid film. I don't know why it bombed. Maybe people were sick of Star Warsy kind of stuff. Or it just confused people. Because it was neither one thing nor the other. Because this was not only was Star Wars in the air, it was Sword and Sword. Conan and Excalibur, and maybe even Halt the Sire kind of fired up a cycle of sword and sorcery kind of stuff. It's kind of interesting. Quite enjoyable. Never been a sequel. I could definitely see this being remade. It just feels like that thing. It's one of those adventure films that just is fun. A bit like Captain Kronos, say, right? It's just a fun, sort of rompy kind of adventure. Nothing wrong with it, really. The plot's confusing, but who cares? But really good. A lot of good British actors in this. And it kind of was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts before we score?
Nothing much. It's a fun film. Watch it while drinking. That's probably my recommendation. You'll enjoy it. So
yeah. So how would you rate this?
I would rate this about a 7. So
yeah, I'd say that fair. 7, at least a 7 for me out of 10. I'm just looking what I put on Letterboxd because I sometimes like to read my reviews back because it reminds me of certain thoughts I may have missed. So I'm just trying to find it now, but Letterboxd is taking forever to find it. Oh man, I've watched it 3 times in the last 10 years. So yeah, I gave it a 4 out of 5. So I gave it a. Let me just.
It's about that. So.
Yeah, and what I wrote was. Sorry, it's taking a while. So it's a bit slow. Fun sci-fi fantasy nonsense, bolstered by some great scenery, music, and set design. Solid actors in the support cast, and a weird Lovecraftian villain who seems so awesomely powerful that it's ridiculous he can be beat until he is. And I've said it, and I don't know if I agree with this now. I've said it. It does suffer a little from being a little too serious, and could do with some trimming. That's reasonable. He also is greatly helped by the great actors delivering some tosh and sometimes pretty good lines. If it were a video game, I'd recommend not bothering with a side mission or 2. That sounds reasonable, doesn't it? That's reasonable. Yeah, so a 4 out of 5 or 8 out of 10 for me there. So that was fun. So the next Daisy will be your choice. You're going to have to pick someone from this, and we'll take it from there.
I've already got my bridge.
Okay.
So,
yes.
So one of the bandits is played by Dickin Ashworth, which is a hell of a name.
Dickin Ashworth, right. Okay.
Apparently best known for his role as Alan Partridge in Brookside. But he also starred in Wallace and Gromit and the Curse of the Were-Rabbit. Now, because the new one's coming out, I was planning to watch this anyway.
Yeah.
But good opportunity to talk about it. And I don't think we've ever actually covered a Wallace and Gromit.
No, we haven't. And indeed, if we like it, there's more Wallace and Gromit in there, and there's no reason we couldn't daisy chain into another one if we wanted to. But we'll see. There's also quite a few voice actors in Curse of the Were-Rabbit. So there's
a lot of actors. You got Helen Bonham Carter, you got Peter Kay.
I mean, Helen Bonham Carter's got a massive filmography.
Ray Fiennes is in it.
Oh man! Whoa. Harry Potter all around there. It sounds like. All right. Okay. Okay. Let's wind it out there. So, bye from me.
Bye.